Peace to everybody that love me. Peace to everybody that don't love me. Peace to everybody that like me. Peace to everybody that don't like me. Peace to everybody that think about me. Peace to everybody that don't think about me. Peace to everybody that give a fuck. Peace to everybody that don't give a fuck. We sending out love either way. We sending out love like the sun send out heat rays. You can be a hater and still be hot. I would hate to be a hater and hot at the same time. That's a Triple H. But if you don't got the right pedigree. See, I be freestyling. I'm a poet, don't even know it. Hey. Today we're going to be talking. Of course, I got my notes, so it don't serve nobody to listen to this conversation passively. The best way to listen is to listen intentionally and keep your notes, keep your journal together. I have a practical application on how to work with Mercury direct Pluto. And everything is practical, everything is applicable. But in reference to the practical, applicable nature of it is many different degrees. As I was thinking about this conversation before I started talking, there's many different levels of the 10th house. Since we are going into Mercury conjunct Pluto and sidereal Capricorn, at the cusp of sidereal Capricorn, the cusp of sidereal Sagittarius, right in the middle, very transformative energy centered in change, but ultimately change in what fashion? If you're going in a different direction, that's one thing, but where are you actually going? And why are things changing? Are things changing for the better? Are things just, people can just say change and not really give you any context or any reference or any understanding or understanding in reference to the change that is actually taking place, although change is evident and change can like somewhat palpable. And what is the way that one gets in behind this change and creates the change that they actually want to live in and exist in versus a change that happens and it like moves you out of your comfort zone and now you hate the world and things of that nature. So the energy of Capricorn is of course Saturn. Saturn in Capricorn equates to big devil energy. So understanding the devil, understanding the devil, overstanding the devil outside of a big scary dude with horns, but in reference to our shadow self, the side that we repress, the side of us that disallows or prevents us from showing up authentic in any type situation. That is the ultimate travesty and tragedy if you're not able to show up in your mama, with your daddy, in your relationships, with your son, at work, as your authentic self, meaning that you have to suppress some vital aspect of your personality and or spiritual higher self integration, right? I'm not going to integrate this aspect of my higher self because people won't like me. This would be a hindrance unto yourself versus learning how to integrate those aspects of yourself without fear. Like I said, the devil has many different ranges of understanding. As the first level of devil and hell is fear, right? The way that you get a person to, like a little kid, to be a Christian, a devout Christian, is because they're afraid of going to hell. So you can mold a child, especially a child that has a pertinence to fear or a receptive or antenna to fear. Little Billy, don't do this or you'll get in trouble. Little Billy, don't do that or something bad will happen to you. You'll go to hell, and in hell you'll meet the devil, and he'll have you sitting in fire forever and ever because you fucking ate some cookies out the cookie jar, right? Completely laughable. But when you think about what's holding you back from becoming your best self and integrating your higher self, it's the same idea as Lil Billy afraid to open up and get some cookies in the cookie jar because they're afraid to go to hell. So when I'm talking to people and I'm doing readings for people and we're when we get to the Saturn part. And if they have like heavy Saturn in their chart, I'll ask them questions about, their propensity to not be or to not do or to not express, as if there is some general over their back shoulder saying you shouldn't do that and you shouldn't do that, Charmaine. And, and there's no person like that exists, but yet and still you could materialize and manifest an energy in a way about you. It can even be a swagger. It could be something about your personality that's completely blocking you from your soul energy from expressing itself in the 3D. It's mainly centered in ego, ignorance, and things of that nature. So if you're able to not fantasize about divinity, if you're able to understand how to channel and bring about the conjuring of your higher self through the modality of divination, then you'll understand this energy. You'll really succeed during this time. If you say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and put out negative energy into the world unconsciously, subconsciously, indirectly, right? Just not even aware, based upon ignorance, because the word is not the word created or the word manifest. The word is, meaning that when you create, you are creating, and there's nothing that can stop your creation. So I'm saying this to the people who externalize negative things on spiritual aspects in reference to them, because you don't actually know yourself in the multitude of variations of your spiritual self. There is an aspect of you that is creepy and crawly that you either can't see or can't address it. A way to pinpoint it is to find it in other people, right? And that's the aspect of you that you can't actually see. Is like the eye beholden to the eye, right? The left eye looking at the right eye. If you're not cross-eyed, you wouldn't even understand that concept. Anyways, Mercury is stationed direct, but it's stationed direct exactly conjunct Pluto. So this is really giving you the power of creation, the power of God, the power of deep spirituality. Mercury being your conscious mind, Pluto being your subconscious mind. And as these two planets connect, you can also think of your conscious mind, your 10% brain, and your subconscious mind, your 90% brain, being in unison. So I look at the 3 days before February 11th and the 3 days after February 11th to be an actual portal in between the seed and the earth and the energy, the timing, right? For a person who doesn't understand the seed, the earth, and the timing, from the observer, is spontaneous, but to the farmer, is everything is planned. So when I speak to you as a farmer. I speak to you as a producer. I speak to you as a planner. I speak to you as a creator. And as you set the intention for what you want out of life, you may do this all the time, right? You may say shit all the time, but sometimes the timing ain't right. Sometimes you don't have the particular seed or the particular investment, right? Sometimes the energy ain't supporting your actual intention, for which you might give up on your said intention. So the idea with February 11th to 11, Ashe to Whitney Houston, which is also a 2-2 portal in reference to 2022, in reference to the goddess. And so I got two distinct meditations that I want to give to y'all at the end of this, but I want to give you the background as to why the meditations will work in reference to this actual portal, this actual conjunction of Mercury coming off a retrograde, being direct Pluto, exact in the energy of change and transformation. So if you're able to self-reflect, meaning that if you're able to not be so caught up in the day-to-day minutia of the 9 to 5, worried about your bank account, what's going on in your life, to the point that you do not see the spiritual aspect of yourself, then you'll just continue to do your 9 to 5 shit. It'll take an act of God, which you could generally expect during these actual 6 days, 7 days, give or take. But if anything weird happens, like some weird shit is going to happen when you're not in alignment. The last thing your ancestors want is for you to be outside of alignment. This is why all of the solutions are being brought forth to everybody, so we can begin to bear witness to these solutions. Therefore, we can begin to indulge in these solutions and live as a solution-based culture. But all of our solutions come from within. That's one level. The 10th house is bonding with your inner self, bonding with your higher self, which brings you into the 11th house, lifting every voice and sing, putting out your products, putting out your projects, going for what you know, creating the relationships that really bring you joy, really bring you expansion. All of these things come in actual shadow work and being the person that God made you to be. The reality is you got to either decide, am I being the person that God made me to be, or am I being the person that society has made me to be? And if I'm being the person that society has made me to be, my friends have made me to be, and the people around me have made me to be, and I'm living up to their expectations, I'm outside of alignment, and this is why these things are happening. I talked to a young lady that I was talking to. I've been talking to her for years. We talk every once in a while here and there. And trust me, she got a great job. Super great job. You would love to have this job because it'll solve all your financial problems instantly. You know what she did? She quit the job. But we had talked years ago about how the ancestors said, you got to quit the job. But when the money good, it's hard for you to conceptualize or rationalize the idea of giving up all of the money for what the ancestors got for you. But yet and still, it's different levels of the devil. It's different levels of fear. Sometimes you could be afraid of the fucking boogeyman. Sometimes you could be afraid to quit your job to start a business. Sometimes you could be afraid to start a relationship with somebody that you can start a business with. So therefore, you think of the natural idea that I can do it by myself. Which if you look at anybody successful in life that's really successful, they got a team around them. What part of the team are you playing? What position are you playing? What role are you playing within this 10th house career-orientated structure? Because as we talked about earlier in the week, we always want to go to the 10th house. We always want to go to the 11th house, 9th house. We want to travel, see the world, but we never want to deal with our 7th house. We never want to deal with our partnerships. We never want to deal with our emotional intelligence. We want to feel how we want to feel. We want to think while we want to think. But then when it comes to people, we don't want to compromise. We don't want to say, well, fuck how I feel, fuck how I think. How are we going to expand as one? It's easy to do that if you master the deacons of Libra, the 2 of swords, the 3 of swords, the 4 of swords, meditation, dealing with your heartbreak, being the person that you say you are with no guarantees. If I sign the LLC and I put the LLC out in the fucking papers and I put it in the fucking address book and I'm doing everything for my fucking LLC, there's no guarantee that my business is going to be successful. But in order for my business to exist, I got to put my business in the phone book. I got to advertise. I got to promote my business. If I do a promo sale, which I'm doing for Columbian Exchange, check your emails this week. If I do a promo sale, it doesn't mean that people are going to buy. But the reason that I'm doing a promo sale is to hopefully entice you enough, create enough energy to which it makes sense for you to purchase. So with all that being said, it's very important to be super intentional with what you want outside of the guarantee for which it may or may not happen. Which you don't get that if you don't understand relationships, if you don't have covering. See, this should be basic. See, before we start our business, we should understand relationships and who we are in relationships. Because if you don't know who you are in relationships, guess what happens when you get with energies that are stronger than you? See, the thing is, if you don't know who you are, this has happened to everybody, that they don't know who they are. They get into a relationship with a person who knows that you don't know who you are. And it's like getting in a fucking car, right? And you're the fucking car. You're the car, because you don't know yourself. You think that something external is going to bring you into gnosis when it's all about understanding that fucking seventh house. Deal with the people that bring you peace in the space of adversity. Understand your own personal heartbreak isn't your own personal heartbreak. It's the actual womb of chaos. They tell you, you knew this shit in middle school. A broken heart opens your heart and allows the light to shine through. For which, if your heart doesn't get broken, everything is fine. What the fuck is you here for? Why are you trying to meditate with us? We trying to heal trauma, PTSD. We don't even fucking know our ancestors all like that. They scrabbled our whole ancestral line. So what the fuck you mean? We trying to figure some shit out. If you know everything, by all means, hit me up in the email, hoodmystic@gmail.com. I'm desperately seeking enlightenment, but all I'm doing is referencing the notes that I've just been taking in reference to this Mercury direct Pluto conjunction. I ain't special. I'm just a regular person taking notes on celestial occurrences. In reference to this, because, you know, I want to give y'all some real important information in reference to the devil. When you wait to see his horns, when you wait to see the bad things happening in the realms of your relationships because your relationship is not intentional, you spending time, wasting time with a person that's not intentional, y'all don't find peace together, y'all don't heal each other at the heart space, and y'all don't create the energy of what is going to be, I'm going to marry you for the rest of my life, and if it don't work, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That's the seventh house. A contract. A law. You don't want nobody to commit theft, but just in case they do, the fucking shit is on the book so we can try you accordingly. That's the overall theory. In reference to human nature, if motherfuckers was loyal, like you intend yourself to be in your heart space, I'm a loyal person, then the advent of the actual marital laws wouldn't actually exist if you really sit and think about it. Because it ain't no law to say that you gotta wake up and wipe your ass, meaning that shit is self-evident. But when you deal with human nature, talking about the carnal self, the self that fucks it up, you gotta actually put that shit on the grain, put that shit in writing. This is why marriage is important. Because if a mother want to flip and dip and flip the script on your ass, you got some documentation to say, hold on, buddy. We got this thing called alimony and child support. I need to run that, right? So I say that all to say, if you in relationships or situationships that are not intentional, these are the breaks. Break it up. Why? Because when you wait for the devil to show his horns, it's too late. If I'm not intentional with you, I'm not intentional with you. What does intentions have to do with anything? If we get in the vehicle and I don't have intentions on where I'm going, then that could be, I could be driving into a fucking river somewhere. It's the very nature of not having a fucking intention. It's not even a hard thing to figure out. When you talk about the change and transformation in reference to intention, you also have the inverse of that, which is the majority of people who don't have any intention. Everything is a matter of thought and compromise and masturbation. And, well, I feel like black men should step up to the plate. What plate do you want me to step up to? A fucking China plate? A fucking home plate? What the fuck? What kind of plate is you talking about? I feel like black women. What black woman? Your mama? What should your mama do in relationships? Let's talk about, when they start talking about black women, we gonna just start talking about their mamas. I feel like black women is disrespectful. Why is your mama disrespectful then, sir? Kevin Samuels, why is your mama so disrespectful? Black women are the problem, right? Why is your mama the problem? She gave birth. Okay? I'm saying this all to say, when Mercury conjuncts Pluto, which you can see the energy now, but it crescendos, it climaxes, it orgasms February 11th, right? Motherfuckers ain't shit. And it ain't that they not shit. It's just that they're not intentional in reference to where you're trying to go. as these portals begin to open, it also becomes a point of intention. Black women ain't shit. Why is your mama not shit then? That's what we saying from here on out for the rest of 2022. Y'all will not disrespect the goddess in 2022. Y'all can respect, if y'all want to do it, go ahead. 2021, 2023. But 2022 is the year of the goddess. Understand versus passing judgment. That's Libra energy as well. You are not the judge of black women at the end of the day. When your mom is a black woman and your mama was the one that bent your ass over and was whipping your fucking ass with a fucking extension cord. Okay? You don't hate black women. You hate your fucking mama for not letting you go out to play when you want to play with fucking Jermaine and them with they badasses. Okay? Can't say nothing about the black woman until you start talking to your mama with that same energy. Okay? Capricorn, but nah, Saturn, the black woman. Mercury conjunct Pluto is this actual portal for which they are giving you energy. But y'all too busy talking shit, trying to live in the white man's world, trying to flourish in Rome when Rome is burning. For which, if you don't question your reality and become intentional and become communal and become 11th house centered, everybody is the age of Aquarius, but at the same time, you see everybody going for theirs. How did that work? Why is it when you was first starting out, you was fucking with me, but then when you come up, you act like I don't fucking exist? That's not Aquarian to me. That's flim flam skim scam type energy. Certain type of people, when you go into this particular energy, you're going to wish you never gave them, you're going to wish you never incorporated yourself into their energy sphere. But at the same time, you'll see how it play out. Some of y'all got weeds in y'all garden. So questioning your reality is the actual de-weeding of that actual platform and that particular energy. As we stated earlier, Capricorn in Saturn, Mercury, Pluto in Saturn. I'm looking at the chart real quick. Don't get me to lying. The sun is at the cusp of Capricorn. All of these energies is about to, well, not all of them. Saturn, the sun is about to move outside of Capricorn. Saturn a little later in the year, but the sun a little later in the month. And when these energies go into Aquarius, I need y'all to understand something about positive energy in relation to a connection to the ancestors that nobody else has but your black ass. And that's really important to open up your mind. And I'm talking about the neuromelanated energies, the entities who reincarnated. I'm talking about the Titans. I'm talking about the sons and daughters of Saturn. I'm talking about the sons and daughters of the children of the Most High God, the creator of this fucking matrix, for which we got so engulfed in it that we forgot who we were at an energetic level. We forgot who we were at a creative level. And the reason that we forgot where we were and forgot who we were is because we didn't listen to enough of Nas's, what is that CD? I'm going to say that's his second CD, I Am. Could have been his third, but I'm going to reference his second CD featuring the late, great DMX or Anubis Energy. Life is what you make it. Life is exactly what you have made it to be in this particular moment. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You are in the production of your life in this particular moment. Now, sometimes we get caught up in the life that we've created and we're trying to, rigmarole and do, changes and flips and flams and skims and scams. But you got to understand the nature and the cyclical nature of the universe and the cyclical nature of the earth, which we are an aspect of, right? So the earth has a process. It has a Saturnian process to it. The Saturnian process, it clears all of the energy from the previous harvest. It doesn't have a legacy harvest, right? It doesn't have a part of the harvest that says, we're the king of the harvest, right? we stand in the harvest forever, right? No, everything must go, right? We create from nothing, right? So if we're able to understand this, then it's easy, right? We just starting over. We're creating from a place where the seed meets the earth. And energetically, we have the high influence of Mercury and the far off energy of Pluto. Pluto is such a powerful energy because at one point, Pluto was once a bright, flourishing star within the galaxy. It's ancient. It's telling you everything that comes celestially, every phase that comes celestially. Because at one point, the Earth will be exactly like Pluto, a very distant star off into the netherworlds. The cosmos and the stories that they tell from birth to nova to supernova to dwarf to comet, so to speak, is a beautiful, beautiful transition. So you have your most distant planet in conjunction with your most closest planet. So when we look at the human being a microcosm to the macrocosm, you say you have your closest energy, which is your conscious mind, right? Conjunct your most distant energy, which is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is when you be farting and snoring at night. Your subconscious mind is when you be sleepwalking and ending up in weird places. Your subconscious mind is the part of you where you get mad and you don't want to get mad. You smoke crack and you don't want to smoke crack. You steal from the store and you don't even need shit. You just a fucking klepto, right? Your subconscious mind is your overall ruler of your day, but you can't grasp it. Certain people, and I hear and I understand, I don't know how to be happy. I don't know how to connect to my inner self. I don't know how to stay in the space of alignment. I don't know how to be present because the rush of emotions overpower my ability to be present. There's nothing that I can do about it. And the reality is there ain't shit that you can do about it. Until 3 days before Mercury conjunct Pluto, we're talking about timing. We're talking about portals. We're talking about celestial understanding in reference to the wheel or the chakra stopping so you can then input your destination. Very powerful stuff, very powerful energy. But if you do not question your reality, if you do stay in the realm of personality, carnal, glamour, we talked about that in our previous video. It's one of the two things. You're either the devil or the creator of the devil. The devil consists of your personality in combination with your carnal energy for which you don't want the world to see. But boy, oh boy, do you love Pornhub. That's just an analogy for that. Exposed to not having a fucking YouTube page and an Instagram page or how much you actually do love Pornhub. On your Instagram page, it's Hotep Nefer Ra, celestial goddess of the north. But the reality of you is that you're a Pornhub junkie. That should be the description of your YouTube page and your Instagram, not the goddess incarnated, because life is what you make it, not by your thought, but by your actions. Your personality, your carnality, and your glamour are things that you'll never be perfect at. Yet and still you strive to make it. And this is for the most part what people call life until they get 80. And then they just say fuck it. And they get Velcro shoes and this weird color brown color pants that's only reserved for once you turn 70 and up. They introduce you to the realm of different color browns that don't exist for the younger generation. And oversized white shirts, and slow walking throughout the halls of your goddamn nursing home. At that point, you develop a psychological nature, and you can sit in a room for a majority of your time and be bull, right? Why can't an old person just be in a particular space and just not give a fuck? Because they're psychologically sound. Why do we need all the extra shit? Because we're carnal beasts. We don't give a fuck about spirituality in real life. Life is what you make it. Cause when you channel or access the energy of life, you are able to create the life that you want to live. But where do you access this particular energy? You access this particular energy within yourself. But before you just leave it at that, I'll elaborate accessing the energy within yourself. When you access energy within yourself, you're able to alter a state of consciousness. Some states of consciousness in alignment with fear, some states of consciousness aligned with the devil could be analogized as fear, anger, jealousy, and just overall negative energy. But see, when you have fear of a particular situation, it is not the situation that is emitting fear. The fear is happening within you. So if you are riding through a traffic stop and they're doing breathalyzers, the breathalyzer stop is not bad. It's your stupid ass for getting drunk at the club and then driving through a fucking truck stop, pit stop where they doing breathalyzers. I don't know what you call it. That's not bad. You deciding to drink and drive is bad. Right? A fucking waterfall that's just sitting there doing this waterfall shit is not negative. You thinking that you gonna get on a river and swim opposite to the waterfall is the actual problem. The waterfall is just doing waterfall shit. A lot of time animals want to go into, not animals, but humans want to go into the realm where animals reign and then want to document it and be all sad. When you got all the fucking New York City to explore and a fucking moose and a bear will never attack you. All of a sudden, you want to be in the woods with no gun and no rifle and then be surprised when goddamn moose and bears fuck your ass up. See, we make civilization for a reason. And then you need to be in nature for a particular understanding and a whole nother reason. So the world is not inherently bad. It's your lack of understanding, lack of training, lack of preparation, and all of these states. If you angry at your baby dad, let's unpack this. Your baby dad that introduced himself. Y'all done spent days and days together. You made the decision night after night to spend time with this dude. And then overall, you get to a conclusion that you're angry or that you're upset. It's still within you. Emotionally intelligent is to understand that people I don't even know how to explain that. To explain emotionally intelligence is every job has human resources. And in human resources, they got sexual harassment training. What to happen if an AIDS outbreak happened between your staff. What to happen if people steal from you. What will happen if people steal from your registers. Why you think you got to count the registers every day at CVS? Because human nature is to steal. Little Miss Betty Sue that been working there for 10 years, all of a sudden get fucking itchy fingers and start stealing 20s here and there out of her drawer. Who knows why it fucking happens? Miss Betty Sue felt like shit. All this money in CVS, motherfuckers coming to CVS because she worked there. She deserved a bigger cut. So she started y'all didn't give Miss Betty Sue a raise. She gave her a fucking raise her fucking self. Right? So, back to the original point. Whatever state of consciousness you hold that's negative, no matter what has happened, PTSD, trauma, abrasiveness, abuse, fucking Mike Tyson appearing out the fucking woods one day and beating your fucking ass, and you hating Mike Tyson to this day, is still energy and anger that exists within you, for which the actual creation that you create is negative energy just jumping out the fucking woods and beating your ass. Even if it don't happen. Right? Even if it never happens again, you thinking about it is actually programming your subconscious mind to create it, especially during this week. So many times in spiritual communities, they talk about the veil, being able to pierce through the veil. Well, the veil is thin, but the veil is within. I want to bring up a Bible verse that speaks about whether you can understand or understand the veil versus something that you think that is something external or something that you can help another person with, versus being able to combine your conscious mind with your subconscious mind, because a veil is thin in nature. A veil is something that you could just bypass and walk through. Your left brain, your right brain, your subconscious, and your conscious mind are all entities and energies that exist within you, and they have completely different functions. And when your left brain, your logical mind, is not in tandem with your creative and subconscious mind, this is confusion and depression. Joy is when you are in present moments and you're not faking the funk. So if you want to be with a certain person, or if you want to do a certain thing, you better stop wishing and fantasizing for it. Because the longer that you wish and you fantasize is the more that you'll create the wish and the fantasize, and you won't get no closer to your actual goals. So John chapter 1 verse 14 says, "And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. The glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth." Couple of things I want to point us to. And the Word made flesh and dwelt among us. The Word made flesh is the actual reality that you create. Life is what you make it, based upon what you say. And when you hear what people say, listen to what they say. Because a person who don't have no future, or a person who don't have no intention with you, they're not going to say anything outside of that. They're going to create a negative reality for themselves and for you if you begin to put yourself in that umbrella, or you don't begin to check them and say, stop creating that for yourself. There is no reason for you to create that for yourself. There is no reason for you to say that. You must realize that you are the energy of all life, and it comes from within. But ultimately, it must dwell among us. Tabernacle. Shekinah. Bishop Don Juan. Andre 3000. What's a pimp with no hoes? Just another nigga walking down the street. Dwelt among us. Masculine, feminine, left, right. In the Bible verse, it's clear to say, "And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among me, dwelt among I, dwelt among my, it dwelt among us." Now, don't take it no further and start to think that it's talking about you and your partner, or you and somebody else. Us, tabernacle, Shekinah, is the divine masculine and feminine within yourself. This is the Word made flesh. This is how you create your reality. This is how you activate your God force energy. The Kundalini, the Ida, the Pingala, the masculine, the feminine, the left, the right, the up, the down, as above, so below. Your subconscious, your conscious mind. It's all to help you understand how to manifest. Consciously, you need to write down the idea. That's 10%. 90% is subconscious, is beyond your fucking pay grade. The idea is not to worry about how, but to worry about what. And from the what, you get into your rituals. spirituality, as much as it's a conversation, is more of a function. It's more of a reality that we begin to live in when we're serious about our spirituality. And like my friend I was talking about earlier, our connection can only establish but so deep because she had to work that 9 to 5. And it was cool. I was perfectly fine with that because being in a relationship with me was not going to net that particular amount of money on a weekly basis. So I would never sway a person and not get their coins, because at the end of the day, I'm not the person that's about to give you the coins like the institution is. All I know is how to be consistent and persistent with my personal gifts and being able to channel and connect to those who are willing to connect to themselves. But I also know you can't serve two masters. I also know that the commitment that I take, most people ain't willing to take, because spirit has to actually work through you. It has to actually have you through all of these hats and marketing, promotion, and managing your time, and having to step up in your leadership role and be the man that you're supposed to be. Spirit gonna actually have to work with you. If you're not ready for that, if your ego is built with the personality, your carnality, your overall glamour, then that's not going to give you enough space and time to tune in and tap in to your higher self. So like I said earlier, we have some actual practical things that you can do to activate your conversation and communion with your higher self. And the only reason that I'm actually sharing these things is because I utilize these modalities to ask the particular question. Should I share this or should I keep it for myself? And I got an emphatic yes. It was one of the most spiritual things that I've ever experienced in my life. So I'm so supercharged to share with you some actual ways to specifically connect to your higher self. And beyond all of the shit, the super shit that you will hear online, if you can pay for a $50,000 retreat, take the highest hallucinogenic drug, regardless of that, if you can begin to understand these simple steps, I done been saved you a lot of money at the end of the day. So, fulfillment, whether you believe it or not, the devil comes in many different ways. Fear of not being, or fear of not having, or fear of not looking the part, fear of not being the baddest bee in the whole fucking room, fear of not being your authentic self and being judged for being less than because you are your authentic self is another way that you embody and walk around this bitch really like, yeah, you cute, but you got fucking horns growing out the side of your head because you're not your authentic self. And you want me to accept you not being your authentic self, and that's a hard sell. It's an easy sell if you just be who you are meant to be down here unequivocally versus chasing clout, chasing respect from others, chasing admiration for others, like subscribers, all of that shit. And in reality, it's work that you can be actually doing in this 3D. It's actual spiritual shit that you can begin doing and begin utilizing and begin to move you into the deepest spiritual tranquility, and nobody fucking knows who you are online. Okay? You can live in an actual 3D world in reference to your spiritual gifts and your heightened spiritual abilities and not have 0 fucking subscribers on YouTube. Right? Nobody buying from your online store. None of that. Right? You could be living in a 3D world, going to a fucking coffee shop, working a fucking job, or having a fucking business, or having a fucking friend group, and none of y'all talking about shit online. Y'all completely focused and in tune to what's happening in fucking real life, to the point that you might even forget that you got a phone or Instagram or a Facebook, to the point that none of that shit don't matter when you start to really take your spiritual self seriously, to the point that it breeds your authentic self. Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense. And I need to talk about this, and I'm doing some checking. I gotta end this video in a second. So I'm gonna end this video in a second. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. The word was made flesh is another concept of 0 equals 1. It's another concept of the goddess, because through the combination of goddess energy, we are able to create through the womb, right? And the word was made flesh is a spiritual manifestation of nothing coming from something, or something coming from nothing. This is the word was made flesh and dwelt among us, to the point that you can begin to speak things into existence and live in the reality, so much so in reference to what you actually say. But if you're not saying it, if you're not standing in it, if you're waiting for a guarantee to begin to say it, you're not creating no forms and no parameters so you can live in it, you're not saying it, how can it become made flesh? Right? It's like seeing the pretty girl walk past you every day and smile at you, and you don't never say hi. Well, by the 6th month, the pretty girl gonna walk past you with a boyfriend, and you gonna be hurt by it. But that could have been you if you'd have said something. See, we always get something out of nothing, but it always takes us to initiate that actual system. Damn near whole civilizations and cultivations have existed from a fucking seed. A seed. Goddamn seed don't turn to a huge ass corn stalk, can feed a whole family. We got a whole row of these bitches. It can feed the whole village for the whole summer, whole winter. Hallelujah. We don't gotta die this winter and get ate by fucking wolves and fucking mooses. I seen a crazy video about a moose right now, and I didn't even know mooses was predators like that. But it's crazy out here in these streets. But as I was saying, I got a couple of things that I want to get out. So seriously connecting with your divine self, seriously connecting with your higher self. I'm going to give y'all step by step. Some of y'all got kids, so you can't be alone. But if you can be alone, right? If you can't be alone, set the vibe. If you alone, set the vibe. If you got kids, set the vibe. Set the vibe. That means incense, music, energy, clean. If you cleaned up, clean your corners, clean behind in your back of your walls, clean behind the couch. Make sure your shit is clean. Nothing is in the house, right? Nothing is in room. Sacred space. Divination. I suggest tarot cards, but if you got some other form of divination, have at it. Pendulum. I feel like you wasted your time, but some motherfuckers love the pendulum and hate tarot. Who am I to judge? Some motherfuckers listen to Boy George every day and whatever. You know, people, different strokes, different folks. I'm not here to judge. Cowrie shells, numerology, whatever the fuck you do for divination, I do tarot. By yourself, with kids, vibe, energy, incense, cleanliness, next to godliness. No bullshit ass questions. Real ass questions. If your questions have to do with money and you get a number, put 3 zeros by it. So you get a 3 of wands, might be 3,000, 300, 30,000, 3 million. Don't know what the cards mean? Research it. Esoteric meaning, type the card, 5 of swords. After that, type esoteric meaning. Get your fucking notebook. Take notes. Understand what your higher self is sending to you when you ask these specific questions. Write the specific question down. Leave space to answer it, because your higher self going to drop it on your fucking ass. It's not going to be yes or no. It's going to be a fucking paragraph. Put it together. Be by yourself. Create the vibe. Connect to yourself through divination. Don't be sitting by yourself thinking about shit, not doing shit, not bringing no sustenance to your energy in reference to the divination process. All right? Ask clear questions to your higher self in the reference that your higher self is having a fucking orgasm just thinking about answering your question positively in reference to what you need. The reason that I know this is because I asked the cards, should I give this away? And they said yes. And the reason that it was emphatic because it was the Queen of Cups. So the first divination that I gave y'all was that. Vibes, energy, cleanliness, notebook, tarot cards, divination system, questions, pull your cards, journal, answer your questions through your divination practice. I mean, if your soul don't talk to you in plain English, don't beat yourself up. Your soul might talk to you in symbols. Your soul might talk to you in allegory. Your soul might talk to you in a fucking YouTube page or a Google page or an image. I get cold with the shit. I just be typing on the motherfucker just doing the Virgo readings for the day. You can't tell me that them girls don't be talking about me and what I be going through. I be like, God damn, motherfucker. They be like, your left butt cheek, it be itching all the time. You don't be scratching it because you don't want to be embarrassing yourself. I'll be like, how you get out my life? Get out my car. How you know? Divination is everywhere. This conversation is divination. So that's one level of divination. The second level of divination, the Queen of Cups, and we doing a 33% God is great sale. Not God is great. God is great sale in reference to this meditation. And the whole entire time that y'all do this meditation and the things work out for y'all, I need y'all to DM me, text me, comment somewhere where I can document it and screenshot it. Hashtag God is great, right? You don't gotta be special. You don't gotta do no ritual. If you don't want to do the first divination, the second divination is for you, Jack. It's 3 to 5 goddesses. Everybody got their different number from 3 to 5. They standing in a circle. You in the middle of the circle. And they are bestowing nothing but gifts, prosperity, gold, silver, panties, nigga, everything for your ass, right? Everything you desire and crave, they're giving it to you for free. They say we've been doing this for all week. We've been doing this, but people's cups been upside down. I said, what you mean they cups been upside down? They so focused on the bullshit, they're not open to receive from the goddesses. So all you have to do is mentally be aware how many goddesses is surrounding you. How many goddesses is surrounding you? All you got to do is open your cup and receive. Hashtag God is great when they just be giving you shit. For no fucking reason. Money back guarantee. Okay? Those are 2 Mercury direct conjunct Pluto divinations that have been given to me that, motherfucker, it ain't no damn excuse. Okay? You are God, goddess, masculine, feminine energy. Motherfuckers. And the word was made flesh and dwelt among us. Okay? Whatever you say will become real and will dwell among you. Are you creating from the ego? Or are you creating from the universal God force energy that propels rivers to fucking waterfalls? Okay? My time has ran up. I gotta get back to what I gotta get back to. Y'all stay safe, stay black, stay strapped too, cause some of y'all got kids when y'all really don't need to be having them. Whatever. Y'all live y'all life to the best of y'all ability. Y'all grown, y'all do what y'all want to do. I just want to put that out for the family. Mercury is going direct, and it's a beautiful time. It's a wonderful portal for magnificent changes and transformations. But if you ain't directing your vehicle, if you ain't directing your life, what the fuck you want to just happen? Some of y'all want a man, but don't even tell your spirit on how you can get a man. Some of y'all need some money, but won't even work with yourself to get a spirit. Some of y'all need a place to stay. Some of y'all need a fucking relationship. Some of y'all need a fucking hug. Right? Y'all be needing shit. So work with yourself, right? Ask yourself these questions. Get up out of here in these streets and let motherfuckers know that you divine. They gonna feel your energy, I promise you. But with that being said, man, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, night, and Mercury direct process. You know me, I'm just sharing the information and the energy. Hope y'all took from this what y'all needed to take from this. But after this video, just tap into the girls that's doing intuitive readings and shit. They'll be speaking directly to your fucking life. You feel me? Peace.